contains dramatic reenactments and material that may be disturbing to some audience members. Viewer discretion is advised.
When an innocent day trip goes badly wrong, a family of 4 are stranded in the Arizona desert.
Just a nasty situation that progressively got worse.
Miles from the highway, they must walk out in the burning sun.
This heat is killer, and it kills people every day.
Mama, just shoot me.
Deep in bandit country, how far will one couple go to save their kids?
Run, kids!
I guarantee you, if you're gonna kill my kids, I will shoot you.
Please! Mama!
Yeah, they're all done.
Don't talk with food in your mouth.
Shelley, her 2 children, and new boyfriend Roger are enjoying an afternoon out in the Arizona desert.
My kids both have been raised in the outdoors. Tiffany was attending school, and Michaela had just started kindergarten.
Where did you learn?
This is an extra special trip. Shelley's boyfriend Roger has just moved in and wants to make sure everything runs smoothly.
What helped the relationship is because the girls really liked Roger.
He was always very, very kind to me.
Hang on, let me get you a nap.
Tiffany, at 9 years old, was always reaching for a father figure.
I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna try to make this work because the kids really like you. You seem like a good dad.
There you go. More. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Okay, that's it.
The girls are my life, and they have always been my life. And I would do anything for them.
It's a good break to get out in the desert, and it's close enough. You can grab a couple packs of hot dogs and some buns, and we're good to go.
The family have driven from their home 40 miles away. For Roger, it's new territory. But Shelley's been coming to this area since she was a child.
Coming from a family that didn't have a lot of money, the entertainment that we would do as a family is go out in the desert.
The Arizona desert is a vast wilderness, covering 120,000 square miles. It's known as one of the world's harshest environments. But for Shelley and the kids aged 9 and 5, it's a perfect place to indulge in one of their favorite activities.
It's always fun. Every time we go out, it's fun.
Shelley is curious to know how her new boyfriend will get along.
Roger was the kind of guy that worked in an office, in air conditioning. And if things needed done at his house, he would have somebody come over and do it.
Pull. That's my first try.
We were just having a good time. Everything was great.
The day's gone well, but by 4, Shelley wants to make sure they get home before dark. At night, the desert becomes a sinister place.
You don't know who you're gonna run into. There's a lot of illegal trafficking.
Shelley's worried about dangers from the nearby Mexican border. Violent gangs patrol the area, threatening anyone in their way.
They'll try to run you off the road, or they'll just run right into you.
But the dangers of the night are far from everyone's mind as they make the 1-hour trip back home.
And the kids are talking, we're laughing and giggling.
Shelley's made the journey many times before.
Shelley knew that desert better than most anybody else that I know. I, on the other hand, I'm from New Jersey.
Today, the family had their picnic somewhere new. Though Shelley knows the desert well, half an hour into their journey home, the landscape looks unfamiliar.
I could tell with the weed growth that it wasn't a well-used path. And I remember this road should be well used.
Even though she's losing her bearings, Shelley hopes she'll pick up the trail.
But I thought, well, we'll just go up this road, see if it leads to a main road that I'm used to.
But the road becomes more uneven, and it seems they're going further off the beaten track.
We went along till I came to a dry riverbed.
Take a look.
And the sides of it were pretty steep.
I don't think we can make it.
Being in a two-wheel drive truck, your only traction is your back tires.
I says, oh, I'll drive. I'll get us through there.
We'll be out of here in no time.
Hoping he can save the day, Roger takes over.
The bumper got hung up on the downside, leaving the rear wheels off the ground spinning like this.
The family truck is ill-equipped for this type of terrain and is now totally stuck in the sand.
Girls, get out.
Roger's got a plan to get them out of trouble.
We gotta get some sticks and stones, put them under that wheel, and maybe we'll get some traction and get out of here.
I didn't really know what was going on at first. I figured they can get it out.
We tried putting more rocks up under the wheels because, keep in mind, the wheels were this high off the ground because the truck was sitting like this.
We didn't have shovels, of course. We're just going out to go shooting, right?
No, stop. It's just smoking. It's gonna catch fire.
No matter what we did, we just couldn't get enough weight on those wheels.
Okay, I'll call for help.
The cell phone that we had, the battery was dead. There was no charger in the truck. I should have just stuck to my decision and says, no, we're gonna turn around here. We're not even gonna try this.
I'd gotten an earful more in that first hour than most people would generally get in a year of being newlyweds.
I'm sorry.
We had enough provisions on that particular day for one day.
With their vehicle stuck and with no way of contacting anyone, Roger knows there's only one option.
We're gonna have to stay the night.
Shelley knows just how dire their situation has become.
From the time the sun sets to the time that sun rises is very dangerous.
I only had one thing on my mind, and that was to get my girls out of that desert.
Run!
A family day trip has gone terribly wrong for Shelley, her children, and boyfriend Roger when their truck gets stuck. They have no option but to spend the night in the Arizona desert.
I don't really remember anybody falling asleep that night.
Armed with their skeet shooting gun, Shelley and Roger stay awake in the fear of lawless gangs of human smugglers from the Mexican border.
Themselves have no regard for human life, and it don't even matter who it is.
It was just praying to God that the girls would be all right and they wouldn't get hurt or worse.
Relieved when the morning arrives without incident, everyone tackles the day with renewed energy.
We're encouraged, we're kind of energized to say, by gosh, we can do this.
We really thought daylight would help us so that we could see exactly what kind of situation we were in.
With the truck still stuck fast, Roger knows he's got to come up with something to get his new family home to safety.
Why don't you go play with Tiffany for a moment?
My brain started saying, Roger, you better think of something.
There was that truck we passed a while back. It may have a jack.
There was a Bronco that we had passed. The rims were gone. So we decided, well, let's at least try to get to that Bronco, see if it's got a jack in it, and then we can get started again.
It's going to be a 4-mile hike back to the Bronco. And with only 2 small bottles of water, they risk serious dehydration in the ferocious heat.
I know you're told to stay with the vehicle, and I'm thinking the vehicle has AC. But if we sit there at the vehicle, we're going to be there for days. That road's untraveled.
Even at 7 in the morning, the sun is wearing them down.
We knew it was going to be hot, real hot. Not what most people in civilized countries are used to. Not your 85, 90 degrees. Try between 115 and 118 degrees.
It's particularly tough on the kids. Their lower body weight means they get dehydrated quicker.
Hi, Mama. I want some water now.
Oh, honey.
Oh, every 20 feet, everybody's sipping water. And I'm noticing that there's only one small sports drink bottle left.
Take it easy, Tiff. We gotta make it last.
Tiffany, was already done had enough. And I says, well, let's just get to the Bronco. We'll find the jack and we'll get out of here.
Here goes. We're here.
The combination of extreme heat and having to stop for the kids means it takes them 5 hours to walk just 4 miles to the Bronco.
Okay? You just have a nice long rest. Roger will find the tool.
We started going through everything. Lifting everything up, thinking there's got to be jack in here.
Damn it!
Anything?
Nope.
When there wasn't a jack, I think everybody was like, what are we gonna do?
Roger, Shelley, and the 2 girls are now in serious trouble.
How much water do we have?
We had like 3 inches of water in that Gatorade bottle.
With almost no water, Roger knows if he's to get his new family out of trouble, he needs to take drastic action.
You stay with them, and I'll go get help.
Y'all need to stay in the shade and just count on the fact that I'm going to get back here, because I knew I could make a lot quicker time by myself.
It was the right decision.
I'm gonna go get us some help and...
Leaving is hard, but they're miles from civilization, and he fears the kids won't be able to keep going.
I love you, girls.
Probably the toughest thing that I've ever done in my whole life.
I'll be back before you know it. All right?
Give everybody a kiss, and I started on a slow jog, actually.
He was feeling very guilty. I mean, when he walked away from us, he almost was running. And I'm thinking, you can't do this in the heat.
Roger's best chance of help is to find a main road, but he has no idea where he's going. And after just half an hour, he's feeling the effects of the 118-degree heat.
It was not so bad at first, but boy, then you realize that you'd better not be breathing through your mouth anymore, because with every breath of that hot air that you're taking in, you're losing that much moisture in your mouth.
Roger has been following the only path in the vast wilderness of the desert. Junction, he's faced with a choice. One way leads out. The other takes him deeper into the desert. Roger chooses the path with more tracks. With Shelley and the girls depending on him, he can only pray he's made the right decision. Roger Sargent has gone off to find help for his girlfriend and her 2 children. They're lost in the Arizona desert, which claims 200 lives each year. As Shelley waits for Roger with her kids, she fears for their survival.
I want to go home.
We were all really getting weak. You have no water. A helpless and almost a hopeless situation.
They've pinned all their hopes on Roger. But 3 miles down the road, he's totally lost.
I slowed down for a second, and I looked at the enormity of that desert. With the sun just blaring down, ruthless on your face.
With no point of reference in the endless terrain, Roger must do everything he can to keep his bearings.
My thought process is that as I find my way out, I darn well better be able to find my way back.
By mid-afternoon, with no sign of Roger, Shelley starts to feel desperate.
Maybe we should go.
What if he comes back, Mama?
We discussed it, because me and my mom are both stubborn.
I said to the girls, if he dies, if we sit right here, we'll never get help. We have got to walk.
Leaving seemed the best choice. But with the sun beating down and 2 children in tow, Shelley soon feels the strain.
Even though you're raised in Arizona and they say that your blood's thinner, a body's still a body. You still get hot.
It's kind of like standing next to a fire, but the fire's above your head, and you can feel yourself being burned. And you're running out of complete energy. There's no more energy left.
Determined to find help before night falls, Roger has now been walking for 8 hours.
The grinding heat and the lack of water is one heck of a combination. You're suffering some serious amount of sunstroke.
The average person needs around 2 pints of water per hour in these conditions, but Roger's had none all day. Out of nowhere, he sees something that could save him.
I thought there must be something.
A cattle trough in the distance could be his lifeline.
I got mad and started picking up rocks and throwing it at the water trough and kicking it and cursing, and that's when I realized that things were not going to get better in a quick hurry here.
Hours after they've set off, Shelley and the kids find it hard to cover any distance in the suffocating heat.
Let's go and sit, have a rest.
Until now, there's been no sign of Roger.
I had noticed Roger had started putting cans and bottles and stuff in the trees.
Now they arrive at the same junction Roger passed earlier. But unlike him, Shelley recognizes the landscape.
And I'm like, I know these mountains. If we go straight over those mountains, then home's right over that mountain.
Shelley realizes that Roger has taken the wrong road, the one that leads deeper into the desert. She doesn't know what to do.
Home's that way. But he went to the right, and if he finds help, he's gonna come back the way he walked.
Shelley must decide if her kids will survive the trip over the mountains or whether Roger will find help first.
Come on. Come on.
She gambles on Roger in the hope he succeeds.
Our options were not good options. We didn't have a good option in there.
As the afternoon draws on, they get more dehydrated. Without water, the body can't flush out poisons or regulate temperature, causing weakness, headaches, and delirium.
My head was hurting, and it just hurt to walk. I was so thirsty, my tongue was sticking to the top of my mouth, and I would do anything for water.
As they stop yet again for a rest, Shelley needs to think fast to find anything for her kids to drink.
I have an idea.
I have always heard cactuses hold a lot of water. If I shoot it, I could probably get some liquid out of it and put in this empty Gatorade bottle.
Sit back.
There's no water. It's almost like a sawdust, like fine wood chips inside it. That's it. There is no liquid whatsoever.
Desperation sets in as they face a night in the desert without water.
That was it. We were done.
Roger knows how dangerous the desert is at night. As the day ends, he can only pray for Shelley and the girls.
I was having a one-sided conversation with Shelley.
Shelley, I'm so sorry.
Telling her that I love her and telling the kids that I love them and that they just need to hang on and believe in me and that I wouldn't let them down, you know? And just praying to God that they were still alive.
Roger Sargent has been walking for a whole day without water in the Arizona desert. He's desperate to get help to his girlfriend and 2 children, but is totally lost. Shelley and the kids are facing their second night in the wilderness.
I mean, you're tired. You got dehydration working against you. You've got that you've been up since the night before, and now you're up another night with no sleep.
Come on, girls. We're gonna walk.
Weak as they are, they need to make the most of the cooler night temperature of 85 degrees.
If we didn't make as much progress as we could that night, come the next morning, we weren't making it through the next day.
Okay, we'll take a walk, and then we'll rest a bit, okay?
As they ready themselves to go, the silence of the desert is broken.
Tiffany goes, Mom.
Shh, it's a car.
In their relief, they forget all about the dangers of the desert.
I'm like, oh, thank God. We got help. We got help.
Why didn't it stop?
Shelley feels uneasy. and more so when the car turns and faces them.
You could hear the engine just make the noise of when somebody has pushed the accelerator to the floor.
It dawns on Shelley that far from rescue, the driver is a member of one of the notorious gangs of human smugglers from the Mexican border.
Run! Tip, grab Michaela!
I don't know where this energy came from.
I was just running for my life. There was no other thoughts, just, I'm getting out of here.
I guarantee you, if you're gonna kill my kids, I will shoot you.
Shelley's bravado pays off, and at the last moment, the driver veers away.
That person did try to kill us.
Why did you try and run us over?
Come here. No, don't cry.
All these things out there that could have attacked us, the mountain lions, rattlesnakes, and the only thing that messed with us was our own race. Not the wildlife, the human race.
Morning brings a return of the relentless heat, and with it, their chances of getting out alive dwindle.
I knew we would not make it through the second day. I already knew that.
It's been 24 hours since the girls have had any water, and they too are desperate.
We've kind of lost our mind at this point. We're way dehydrated.
Mama, can I tell you something weird?
What?
In our science class, we were told that you can drink your own pee.
Really?
And I said, oh, that can't be good.
Mommy, I just have to have something. I am so thirsty.
I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, well, we are so thirsty. So I end up peeing in this Gatorade jug.
They badly need to take on liquids. In these conditions, you can lose up to 10% of your body weight through fluid loss. More than that can be fatal.
Yeah, I will never forget the taste. It's absolutely disgusting.
And I'm like, okay, I gotta just do it. I gotta do it. And then I made Michaela.
Drink it. Just wet your mouth.
It's just so sickening. You can never, ever even imagine to bring yourself to do that.
Roger, too, is showing symptoms of advanced dehydration. Lack of water stops vital impulses being sent to the brain and causes blurred vision. His body is giving up.
There comes a point, and this is when you really know you're in trouble. You stop sweating. Because now there's no moisture left in your body to get out of your pores.
But however tough it is, the thought of Shelley and the kids drives him on.
You think about your family. You can't give up.
At last, Roger's determination seems to have paid off.
I saw a vehicle coming right towards me. I knew that at that time of day, No, it was not going to be a human smuggler. I knew that. I thought everything was going to be okay then.
Finally, Roger thinks he's found the help that's going to save his family.
Thank God. I'm thirsty. My girls need help.
I hardly talk because there's no moisture, and I'm saying I need help.
Please. Agua. Agua.
What was that, amigo?
The girls are...
I think we got ourselves a genuine legal.
No.
Ain't that right, amigo?
No. Please, I'm thirsty. Thirsty.
Thirsty?
Yes.
You want a drink?
Please.
Oh, here we go. See you later, amigo!
Roger's appearance has changed so drastically that he's been mistaken for an illegal immigrant.
The most helpless feeling a person could ever have in their life. There, and I'm like, what else? What else could happen? I knew that Shelley and those kids were running on empty out there.
Mama, just shoot me. Please shoot me, Mom.
Shelley and her 2 daughters are trapped for a 3rd day in the Arizona desert, while her boyfriend has gone to find help.
I kept thinking, I wonder if Roger's made it. Has he passed on? Do I need to keep walking?
Mama, I can't go on no more.
After 2 days without water, the effects of dehydration are causing the children's small bodies to shut down.
Mama, just shoot me. Please shoot me, Mama.
I really didn't want to live anymore because it was painful.
Honey.
As soon as she said that, I mean, my heart just sunk.
Come on, my sweetie. We'll do it together. Just one foot after another, okay, honey?
She just keep pushing us forward.
I knew I had to keep going. I can't lose these kids. I brought them here on Earth. I can't give up.
It's taken Roger 2 days to walk just 13 miles in the suffocating heat. And now, he's losing his own battle for survival.
I didn't have anything left in my tank mentally, I think, at that point. I couldn't feel any pain or anything anymore. Everything was just starting to get like a hot numbness.
As Roger gives up all hope, yet again he sees something on the horizon.
That truck came right up the same exact path that the prior one had come, right at me.
Roger?
He'd recognize me because he's calling me by my first name right away.
Against all odds, the driver knows Roger.
And I realized that he's one of my customers from work. It was pretty cool. But very emotional.
Roger's safe, But a few miles away, the girls can't go on anymore. With no shade, all that Shelley can do is bury her kids in the sand to cool them down.
I crawled to her on my stomach, and I'm so weak, and I just start putting dirt on her, and I could never get her covered. She's crying for help, and I can't help her.
It's a last desperate attempt to protect them from the heat. But deep down, Shelley knows it's too late.
Between the cries out for help and the wanting to be dead, you never will forget.
When the rescue services arrive, there's still only one thing on Roger's mind.
Sir? The girls and their mother.
He says, we're going to take you to the hospital. I said, your ass, you're taking me to a damn hospital. I said, I'm getting my family.
They're out there. We got girls, sir. The girls. I can show you where they are. Girls. We got to find them. Can't you go any faster?
They drive for hours, but there is no sign of Shelley and the girls in the vast wilderness.
I thought their chances were, at that point, probably 50-50 at the best.
Out of nowhere, there's the sound of a car.
Did you hear that?
And I start crawling on my hands and knees.
Please, 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 please.
With as dry of a mouth as I have, you're dehydrated, you're weak, and yelling for all you're worth.
Please, where?
Well, they kept on going. They never looked in their rear view mirror. I was just so dehydrated, I could barely move myself. I didn't cover myself. I just laid there on the dirt.
They're definitely looking for us, and they're gonna come back. We just gotta hang in there.
And there was silence. It's like the bell has rung. This is your last day.
After a 3-day ordeal in the Arizona desert, Roger Sargent has been rescued. He's desperate to find his girlfriend Shelley and her kids, but has unknowingly driven past them.
Please!
A full rescue team is mobilized, but they're almost out of time. Shelley can do nothing except watch her children die.
And watching them dehydrate, that's memories, that's images that you never forget.
Just as she's given up all hope, she hears a vehicle.
So I came up, and that's when I seen that it was the Ranger.
We got help!
So it was right there on the cusp of life and death when we actually did get the help. It was like having the weight of the world taken off your shoulders. Because I didn't have to fight no more.
Oh, my girls, you gotta get them. My girls.
But the family's ordeal is far from over.
Michaela? Michaela!
It freaked me out.
Mama! Mama! Mama!
I ran up the hill. I had no energy, but I ran up the hill.
Mama! Mama, she's not moving!
I thought, well, in the midst of trying to find somebody to help us, she'd passed away. You go from so excited, we're saved, and then thinking, I didn't do it in time. They kept trying to wake her up. They could not wake her at all.
The trauma has been too much for 5-year-old Michaela. Her kidneys have stopped working.
Not something that, you want to see your kids go through, let alone be the cause of.
They had the chaplain come in and pray with us, and I'm thinking, the only time I've ever heard a chaplain coming in and somebody's in the hospital is when you're going to lose that person.
I didn't want to lose my sister. She's very important to me.
I woke up and I looked down at my arm and I had an IV in my arm. And I remember looking to the side of me and seeing my mom. I was so happy that everybody was alive.
They say a human can only last out in that desert 8 hours without water. Now, we lasted a lot longer than that. And a lot of that comes from my love for them. And the pure drive to survive.
Michaela left the hospital after a week and made a full recovery. Roger and Shelley got married a year later and are still together. Get survival tips, go behind the scenes, and more at animalplanet.com/ISBA.